Okay, the following three things will drastically change your trading. You have to stick around for the third one because that's especially the game changer for me. Number one, you've heard it said before, lose quickly. Now I want to give you a different spin on that instead and say, how about enter less frequently? One of the things I see quite often with everybody is that you have a entry area in mind, you have a target in mind, but as price approaches that area, what do? We get in early. Most trades would have been a massive winner or a smaller loss for that matter had we actually entered in the place or the area that we determined we will enter. So how can you actually navigate this? One of the hardest things to do for a trader is to actually walk away from the chart. So one of the things you want to do is set some trading view alerts. Set some alerts at zones. I like to do one above and one below. Whichever one hits, that's the one I'm going to take, and that's the one I'm going to look for a setup in. That way, until that alert goes off, you have nothing to do. Now, someone's going to say, but what about watching price develop? Well, usually if your time frame is high enough, which is also an important thing, let's not be entering just purely off of lower time frames. Let's have a higher narrative in play. If your time frame is high enough, then what will happen is that you will be able to have enough time to actually get that particular trade. So with that being said, it brings me on to number two. Remember, three is very important. Number two is time and price. When you get onto a chart is not only price, neither is it only time. But I find that most people focus heavily and unreasonably on price, whereas time is also an important factor. What do I mean by that? Price moves more during certain times of the day, right? And as traders, we know that volatility is our friend. So we want to be there when the market is most volatile. One of the ways you can improve your trading drastically is to only to trade during set times and do nothing outside of those windows. Now, maybe you're saying, maybe it's a London session, maybe you are a New York session or an Asian session trader, then 30 minutes before or however long it takes you to set up, do your analysis then only and then trade then. Let me make an example. I find that a lot of New York traders, they are on the charts from London already, and by the time you get to your actual session, your whole perspective has changed on what the market was supposed to do. What you want to do is come fresh to that time. So set an alert for yourself time-wise that says, I'm only going to trade between this window and that window. Now, the only important thing you have to add as well is that you have to make sure that that's during a period that is volatile as well. So I'll give you one tip real quick. One of the most volatile periods in the market is between 2 a.m. and I'd say 5 a.m. That's London session, right? New York time. London session, New York time. And then also another volatile section is between 8 or 8:30 to 11 a.m. And there's more throughout the day in Asian session as well. But those are the high impact, high moving times. So if you were to say, you know what, I'm only going to trade during that window, you will drastically change the amount of losses you take. And then number three, and this is really, really important. One of the best ways to actually make more profit in the market is to have a loss, listen to me now, a loss target. I like to have a daily and a weekly loss target. One of the things that traders don't often take into consideration is that after you have lost one trade or two trades, depending on your psychology, or even three trades, the way you take the trades after that is drastically different than the first trade you've taken, because you've taken a severe knock on your psychology. So by implication, the more trades you take, the worse your trading gets. And so what you want to do is have a daily loss target. How much trades can I lose, or what percentage of my account can I lose, or what dollar value can I lose? And once I've hit that, I will not trade until the next day. That will also mean that you have to close your charts, take some time away. You might have to come back for some daily markups, and check out my video on end of day markups, right? Check my video on end of day markups. I'll post it in the description. You might have to come back just for that, but you're not coming back for trading, right? And then also coupled to that is you want to have a good view on a weekly loss target, because if you've taken too much losses earlier in the week, you want to stop trading for the rest of the week. That doesn't mean you can't demo trade. That doesn't mean that you can't mark up your charts, but you want to stop trading because statistics show the more trades you take after losses, the worse you become. So you're not doing yourself any favors by continuing to trade. You want to wait until the next week. So with that being said, if you use these 3 tips, number 1 means enter less frequently. Number 2 is use the principles of time and price. And number 3 is I have a daily and weekly loss target. With that being said, I hope that you've been blessed by this video. More such videos coming. Please comment if you found some value, and please share this as well. And don't forget, above all else, subscribe. It makes your trading way better.